Okay, folks, you're going to have to bear with me a couple of minutes here. Because I got a few things that I got to do before we get started. A few improvements to the shop. And Mrs. Phoenix Motorsports got me some stuff for the shop for Christmas. We're going to set all that up today. And yeah, there's all that going on. So, first things first, we had to take a little Walmart trip this morning, get a few things. So we decided to stop at Dunkin' Donuts and get coffee and some breakfast, which you probably know this by now, but Dunkin' Donuts coffee absolutely sucks. I'm sorry. You like it, you like it. I don't. I like this stuff. So I didn't get my typical coffee fix in this morning. It is rather early. It's 10 o'clock. I'm usually on here at noon. We're going to sign on a little early today. Well, shit. I didn't pay enough attention. I can't use this shit anyway. Damn it. I didn't look at what I was buying. I had bought coffee beans, not coffee. That sucks. Damn it. I bought an extra bag of this stuff to keep down here and then pay attention to what I was buying. All right. Well, we're going to just do that different then. Give me a minute, I'll be back. Gonna run up to the house. All right, I'm back. And that is the beautiful thing about having your motorcycle shop in your backyard. And to run up to the house and get some regular coffee. I didn't pay attention when I bought that bag. I usually buy them already ground up. Can I get just one filter? Yeah, see, normally this is an old crappy coffee maker that we were going to throw away, but it still works. And normally I just fill up that little bowl with coffee, bring it down. I figured I'd buy a bag of coffee just for the shop, and well, my stupid ass made that move. Bought the wrong kind of coffee. I'll grind them beans up later and put them back in the bag. That's the deal. When you buy good coffee, you got to watch, because a lot of people like to grind their own friggin' beans for whatever reason. And I didn't notice that that was whole bean coffee and not ground coffee. So whatever. Like I said, that's why we keep this down here. Anyways, stashed where it goes. So what we're doing today, well, fuck, there ain't nobody in here, so I ain't even gonna tell you. I'm just gonna go get my shit. Just gotta get brought in here and deal with that first. I usually start this around noon. It's too early for you guys, I get it. But I picked up a bigger whiteboard because I want to do some more tutorial type videos. Okay. And I feel like this will help a lot more than the whiteboard that I have. Not that there's anything wrong with the one that I have. This is just much easier. I'm no freaking artist. I'm not good at it. I can't draw, but if I need to draw you something to show you what's going on, it'll be easier if I've got a bigger palette to draw on. And I don't know if you noticed, I had a new roller toolbox graciously donated by one of my viewers. I suppose he had gotten a new one for Christmas. Brought me his old one, which freaking awesome, man. Sweet. So, a lot of coffee's brewing up. We got to move some machinery around and get my workbench clear. All right. We need the Suzuki out of the way because I'm going to need the workbench to put together the stuff that we're using in the shop today. As Mrs. Phoenix Motorsports puts it, I'm a cheap bastard. I am notorious for doing everything the hard way because I don't want to spend money. So I've been talking about picking up a shop vac for a while. And, well, a broom and a dustpan works, right? And I got them, so why would I spend money on that? So she picked me up a shop vac. And yeah, we got a bench grinder with a belt sander attachment. That's got to get put together. And something really cool that I needed, but I was putting off buying, says, y'all watch me work on bikes up on the lift. I usually use a milk crate to sit on. Check this thing out, man. It's I was gonna pick up one of them. You see them at Harbor Freights. It's like a brake stool, I call it, when you're putting brakes in your car. You can put your tools under it and such and sit on it. This one unfolds into a creeper. So right on, 300-pound capacity will hold my fat ass. And, like I said, cardboard's free. So if I got to crawl under a car, I'm usually throwing cardboard on the floor and doing it that way, which, sucks, but whatever. So that'll make my life easier too. So what we're going to do is put all these items together today and, rearrange the tool situation. We got the new Husky roller box. And what I've been doing with a lot of my stuff, a lot of my tools, you see I got cabinets and shit. I've got these tubs. They're all full of tools. So the idea is I never did unpack these. It's stuff that I don't use on a regular basis, so it stays in them tubs, okay? And the idea is now I got more toolbox room to put them, so they're going to get set up properly. So I don't have to dig for 20 minutes to find the tool that I need. I can just open the drawer and get it. Come on over. Come on closer. Check this out. I've never seen a stool / creeper combo. Never seen one like this. It should be pretty cool. Hopefully I don't have to do anything crazy to put it together. Sweet. It's in my favorite color too. Shouldn't have to do much more than just put the casters on it. Something like that. Oh, this thing's badass. And we got, as you know, my shop floor is fucking pristine. I try to keep it that way. So we got cardboard for the floor. Okay. Hopefully we got directions of some sort. That would be helpful. Men don't follow directions. Yeah, sometimes we do. Alright, there's the directions. Alright. coffee smelling good. All right, how do you put this bastard together? It goes this way. Okay, there's some pins in this bag. Okay, we already don't need the overshirt. Yes, sir, John Mine. Nothing crazy, but stuff that's going to make my life easier. Yeah, I don't think we're going to use that wrench. Let's go get some proper tools. I'm quite sure these are going to be standard. Although it did come from Japan or China, so it might be metric. Let's see. 9/16. 9/16. Yeah, it's just going to be 10 times more convenient than using a freaking milk crate, because it's on wheels. I can just scoot it around wherever I need it, and I could flatten it out into a regular old creeper. So right on, I'm pretty stoked about this, and it's my favorite color. Those of y'all who don't know, green has been my favorite color since I was a kid. Why? I don't know. If I think all the way back to like when we were first in school and all that crappy, no other kid picked green when I asked what the favorite color was. No, I am the only one. No other kid picked green. No, that's 9/16. That's not. Grab the wrong size wrench. My bad. It's like a 1/2 inch, maybe. Yep. Devil. Now, y'all probably didn't know this, but if it wasn't for Mrs. Phoenix Motorsports, we wouldn't be doing this. I didn't think folks would be interested in watching me work on old bikes and do the things that I do on YouTube. I didn't think that I'd be able to make any money with a motorcycle shop. And be honest with you, I didn't think I was ever going to get to this part. Guess this is a part where like new viewers would get to know me type shit if you care. But those who don't know me, used to have a substance abuse problem pretty bad. And I met Mrs. Phoenix Motorsports 6 months after I decided enough was enough. I was going to go straight edge, coffee and cigarettes. No booze, no drugs. So 6 months into it, I met her. Didn't have too much to my name. I had an old beat up truck, beat up old motorcycle, and a whole lot of hope. And she's believed in me this whole time and encouraged me to keep trying and keep doing what I'm doing right now. So we wouldn't be here doing this, you and I, speaking to you, the viewers, we wouldn't be here doing this if it was not for her. Okay. We will need an Allen key for this. Plum crazy purple with a touch of silver metal flake. Nah, it was standard, man. Yeah, nah, green's my favorite, man. Although, ain't that a devil, huh? The bolts were metric, but these Allen keys are the Allen keys that hold in the casters. Excuse me, these bolts were standard SAE, but the little toppers that hold in the casters, yeah, they're metric. They're 5mm. That's interesting, to say the least. But you'll get that. Everything's made in China nowadays, and they do things the way they do it. I mean, even your... Oh, I see why they give you that big funky wrench. It's to hold this. That's about goofy, but okay. You know, even your major American brands of things are still oftentimes subbed out to companies who, you know, they manufacture shit in China, and it is what it is with that. I guess the labor over there is super cheap. I mean, they're communists, so it's not like they have unions to say, hey, dude, we're not doing it for that price. Right? That's an American thing there. Coffee is done. We are ready for some Black Rifle. God damn it. We need some coffee in my life. I normally consume about 3/4 of a pot of coffee a day. And I only had 1 cup. I haven't figured it out. I have to make things difficult. Yeah. Yeah, you like to make things difficult, John. I like things to be as easy as possible, though. I'm old and beat up. Lived a rough life. I can make things a little easier on myself. That's what I'm going to do. And that is exactly what this whole creeper is for. Making my life just a little bit easier. Curious to see how high off the ground it sits when you fold it into an actual little stool type thing. Hopefully it's high enough. Sometimes a milk crate, I feel like I'm sitting too close to the ground. Those of you who don't know, my left knee was totally destroyed in about 3 motorcycle accidents over the years. So it dislocates itself at times, and in general makes life a pain in the ass. This wrench they give you absolutely sucks donkey balls. Like, this is bad. Okay. Got it. This side put on. The grinder is going to be pretty cool because I was, once again, Mrs. listens to things I say when I talk about the shop. I was staring at something on a computer at Amazon. I couldn't decide whether I wanted a belt sander or a grinder. A grinder is useful for things like sharpening drill bits, and that's something I can actually teach you guys how to do. I learned how to do it when I was very young. You do not need a drill doctor. You do not need jigs. You do not need any of that stuff. You do need a protractor, a metal machinist protractor. You can do it without it, but if you want to do it accurately and properly, a machinist protractor makes your life easy. If you want the drill bit to make accurate size holes, you need to have the same size angle on either side, or she's going to walk all kind of crazy. But sharpening chisels, sharpening my hatchet that I split wood from a pizza oven with, sharpening the lawnmower blade, all that shit. Grinder's a little better for that, but things like just shaping something a little bit to make it fit, belt sander's great. Or aluminum. You actually need a different grinding wheel to grind aluminum, believe it or not. It'll gum up your grinding wheel something fierce. So belt sander's the way to go. Well, she had got me. I don't need anything industrial size for this shop. You feel me? I'm down here. I mean, we're busier than normal throughout the week at my day job, so I'm only down here really on the weekends. My day job's killing me right now. I don't have time to do much work down here throughout the actual work week. That should be changing soon because, man, I didn't sign on for overtime all like that. I don't like that much overtime. I need a better wrench for this. I'll be back. Because that wrench just doesn't get it done. Son of a basket. I don't think I got one that big. Alright, maybe Cressy will work. Not that one. That one ain't big enough. We need the big boy for that one. Hopefully big boy opens far enough. It does. Figure out how to program the Bofang. No, well, I know how to program the Bofang. I didn't really study much. As those of you who are watching, it's my buddy John's real big into ham radio. And I thought, hey, this might be something fun to try out. So I bought a Bofang radio. One of them Chinese. It'll broadcast on ham radio. It's not exactly a good ham radio, but you can do it. And you got to have a license to do that. And you got to pass a test. And I kind of messed with it for a little bit, and then work got off the chain busy. And I just don't have it in me to sit down and study after the work day that I do. I want to eat some dinner and kind of chill out for a couple hours before I go to bed. So when work slows down, we'll get back into the fooling with the ham radio stuff. But for now, we just laid that project to the side. We'll mess with that at another time. Breaking these don't have to be killer tight. Not like that, I'll do it. All right, now. I think you pull this. Set that, there you go. And you got like instead of sitting on a milk crate, I got this guy now. And honestly, let's see, do I have an empty milk crate laying around? I know I do. I just freaking used it. Over here. What this thing replaces for me is this piece of shit. Okay. And it actually is a little taller. That's kind of perfect. But yeah, use an old milk crate with a towel on it, and that's when I have a motorcycle up on the lift. I sit on that because my back is beat. 2 or 3 questions at a time. Honestly, dude, it's a matter of I've been sitting there and studying the questions. Beyond an hour, my brain's fried and I don't want to mess with it anymore at all. So I'll mess with it for an hour and then put it away. But honestly, I got too much to do to really mess with it. So I haven't really paid any attention to it. It's just sitting there in its cradle, keeping charged. And hopefully work will return to normal here within a couple of weeks. We're usually pretty slow in the winter. And that will enable me to spend more time here in the shop and spend more time up in the computer room studying for that amateur radio license test. I mean, it's definitely going to be cool. I'm definitely interested in it. I understand a lot of the wavelengths and the bandwidths and all the stuff you need to know. The stuff that's I need to improve on is the test is a lot of the symbols in the diagrams. Like, you need to know how to build a freaking radio to get your ham radio license. And a lot of stuff in the electrical diagrams, I know what if I looked at that electrical component, I could tell you what that piece is. But it's like looking at a blueprint of it, right? Where you just have a little diagram of the shit. And I know what a machinist blueprint, how to read that, or an engineering blueprint type thing. But the electrical schematics, I don't know what a lot of them things are. So I got a lot of studying to do to figure that out. I could just go the easy route, get my GMRS license, and just do that. But I actually want to get a technician's license for ham radio. And I don't even think you have to take a test for a GMRS. But it don't go out there like ham does. I do have a small CB here, and I'm picking up somebody on channel 19 from Texas. Obviously, he can't hear me. I don't know how what he's got cranked up and all that done to his CB, but it's definitely channel 19 on my CB. It shouldn't be any kind of ham band or anything like that. As far from what I researched, I don't think there's anything that crosses over into that. But I got him clear as day here. And when he keys up, he doesn't announce any license number, call sign, I guess I should say. Technically correct. Oh, cool. This thing's pretty much already built. That's kind of badass. I thought I was going to have to assemble this entire unit, and it looks like it came already assembled. I like that. Oh, good God, it's heavy. All right. To figure out where we're going to put this thing. Honestly, probably should get bolted down, but it's heavy enough that you might get away without it. Right on. Like I said, nothing heavy duty, nothing super expensive. It doesn't need to be for what I'm going to use this for. Yeah, amp and a big antenna. That's the deal, though. There's regulations on regular Citizens band as far as how much you can push. So he's probably doing whatever it is he's doing. Like, I had a buddy This is kind of why, like when you got into the ham radio thing, man, that's kind of what got me slightly interested in it. Because I had a buddy that messed with them, and he didn't have his ham license. Great dude, but he liked his alcohol way too much. And in the end of the day, alcohol and let's understand, I smoke cigarettes, so whatever, but alcohol and 3 or 4 packs of cigarettes a day is kind of what took his life. But he had a CB that had something called sideband hooked up to an amp, and he had an antenna on the roof of his house, but nothing crazy. But he could talk to Ireland on a regular, like a Cobra CB that he got into and modified. He could talk to Japan on it. It was kind of badass. Yeah, see, this will be just enough to sharpen up a lawnmower blade, a drill bit, and you got this. I have to see how that works, but and you've got your belt sander attachment. So it's nothing crazy, but it's something I don't have. And instead of trying to clamp something up in my vise here and fart around with a hand grinder, I now have a little bench grinder, which that's going to make shit much, much easier. Much, much more accurate too. Things like if I've got to cut a bolt off short to make it fit, put a chamfer on the threads. I know everybody's bullshit. Thread a nut on it and cut it a nut. No, take it to the grinder and put a chamfer on it, man. Just sorry. Now I like that chamfer. Makes bolts easier to deal with. All right, let's see how we got to put this thing together. Safety instructions for machines. Yeah, we don't need that. If you know, you know, okay. Took 4 years of machinist apprenticeship training. I just didn't like it. Milding, so we're going to go to page 8. Bench grinder weighs 38 pounds. Mounting it on a workbench. Provide with 2 pre-drilled holes. The base is allowed to be mounted on a workbench. Workbench using a pencil. Bolts are not provided, you devil. So I got to go grab some bolts at the hardware store. I haven't quite decided where exactly I want to put this thing yet. Kind of don't want it this close to the vise. I'm thinking more like over in this corner right here would be better. But I got to pick up. I don't think I have any bolts that are going to be the right size for that. And I don't think we're going to use that thing at all today. See here, dig through my pile. When I did the Honda Goldwing giveaway, I also gave away a whole big ass can of nuts and bolts with the bike because I figured he may need them. Kind of wished I didn't do that right now. I just might need them, and I probably ain't got them, and that sucks. I get. All right, we got these. I don't know if these are going to be sufficient. What we got here? Added extra channels. Been there and done that in the 90s. Yeah, he's still on a radio ticket. These actually may work. Will they go through? Are they too big? Probably too big. No, these will actually do the job. We gotta find some washers. Yeah, it'd be nice to have this thing mounted up where it's supposed to be. See if I can find some washers. Well, they actually ain't the washers or spacers for a quick mount, quick detach kit for the Harley Davidson Sissy bar, but I think they'll actually work. Yeah, because this is 3/4 inch. They'll do the job. No, they won't. All right, so I got to take a trip to the hardware store to get this mounted properly. It's either that or open every freaking extra toolbox that I got and dig through to see what I got. Because I do have nut washers and bolts. I just don't have them organized because, as I said, I gave away my miscellaneous can of nuts, bolts, and washers when I gave away the Goldwing. Bummer. Not in that box. That sucks. All right. I'll go after this evening and pick some up. Let's get the rests mounted on this. The instructions for this are very vague, to say the least. They are vague. It's more safety, don't grind your finger off type bullshit than anything else. I can understand why. You don't grind on the side of the wheel ever. Just don't do it. You'll blow up your grinding wheel. All right, this should be pretty simple. Yeah. Of course, that'd fall into no man's land, huh? that's mounted. It should be on this side, a place to mount this. Right like that. Y'all will notice that the commentary kind of stops when I start actually doing something. Because one thing with me, it's difficult to actually jaw jack, chit chat, bullshit, whatever you want to call it. It's difficult for me to do that and concentrate at the same time. Get you out of the way. Are you the right size for this? Yeah, I feel like you're not. Okay, you are. Get a little more time here in the next week or two. We got another bike that needs to come in here. It's not necessarily a customer's machine. It's a machine for a very good friend of mine. We call him the Ghost. And he picked himself up a Harley Sportster 883. And that is the carburetor that I was working on the other day. Well, if you watch the video, I really didn't find any issues with the carburetor. I disassembled it. There was a tiny little bit of schmutz in it. There was a couple of screws loose on it, but there was really no major issues. So gave it back to the man and said, your carburetor's good, bud. Bolt it back on. One of the screws on the top diaphragm cover was loose, and that could have been causing his problem. The problem is when he bolts the carb back on the bike's not wanting to take fuel at all. It'll idle, it'll run good on choke, and give it fuel, ball. So we got to figure out what's up with that, and that could be a few things. It looked like it was backfiring through the carb, which tells me possibly it had a bad intake seal. But I need to get the bike in here with it running to full with it. Or all my tools and everything I need. Because there's several things that could be causing that. It could be the timing's not advancing. A CDI could be going bad. Be a few different things. But I just need to get it in here and do some preliminary tests on it. And get it up and running for my man. And possibly I'll talk him into selling it to me. I could use a Sportster in my life. I like Harley Davidson Sportsters. Not your typical Harley guy that, ooh, Sportster's a girl bike. No, Sportsters are fucking cool, man. They're small, they weigh nothing. They build, if you do them right, they build a shit ton of power on a bike that weighs nothing. Let's go. That goes over top of this. And this guy goes in there. Okay, so I need a wrench for this. It looks to be about a 1/2 inch. But anyways, the bike only has 3,900 miles on it. And it's a, I believe, to me, at a glance, it looks, I didn't look at it that close, but at a glance, it looks to be pre-2004 because I didn't see rubber mounts on the engine. It's definitely carbureted, so Now, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure 04 is when they went to the rubber mounted Sportster. I know for a fact 07 is when they went to the fuel injected Sportster. And it's obviously, you've seen the carburetor. It's got a Key and CV carb. So that is a prime candidate with no miles. I know the lower end's good. That is a prime candidate to upgrade the oil pump, throw in some big cams, a 1200 kit, which essentially is just a big bore kit for it, and a proper 2-into-1 exhaust, and you will have an around town, holy shit, this thing's fast, light little ripper of a Harley Davidson. Something that you can easily rip wheelies on. And I don't know, I think that'd be fun. Maybe get some cartridges for the forks. Like, I really don't want to modify my Dyna at all. I bought it the way it is. I just fixed up a couple little issues that it had so that it would be reliable. And I want to keep my Dyna as it is. But this bike, a little different story. It's basically all stock. Like, my Dyna was obviously at some point someone's dream bike. They painted it just how they wanted it, you know, all that. And it was someone's dream, and I don't know if that person's alive and well and whatever. But their dream fits my reality well. I like everything about the bike. I don't want to change anything, right? So, don't really want to modify my Dyna. And it is quite powerful enough as it sits. But a Sportster, that's a different story. That'd be something really cool to crank her up to about 100 horsepower, put some suspension on it, and just have something to play around with in the city. Something powerful and fast and cool. Where did here it is. Do we need a screwdriver? Yeah, we need a screwdriver. And of course, we could probably get away with vice grips or something for that. A nice little screwdriver. Something like this. So it's a thought. As of now, he doesn't want to sell it, but I think I can talk him out of it. Ghost is a busy man. He has a lot of things to do in life and doesn't really have much time to ride. He's got that Triumph chopper. If you came to this channel because you saw a cool looking Triumph Bonneville chopper, that's his main machine, which, like I said, he fools with it once in a while, but he doesn't have time to really enjoy it. And well, let's face it, it's a Triumph, so it takes some fooling with to keep running, right? And for him, sometimes that's more what it's about. He enjoys just messing with that old bike. I don't know why I'm putting this thing on here. Not going to use it. I'm going to stay flipped up out of the way, and once these things get boogered up, they're kind of useless, but that's why we wear safety glasses and shit. But it came with the unit, so we will put it on. And I'll need some 3-inch half 20. That'd probably hold it just fine. half 20 bolts and lock nuts to secure this to the bench, but that's obviously going to happen another day. I'll probably pick them up tonight while I am out. We're going to go visit my mother because the holidays were so busy between visiting Mrs. Phoenix Motorsports family and then going to see my dad and my uncle. And my mom had some stuff kicking with her boyfriend's family. It was too much to squeeze in. We said, you know what? We'll just get together and do a Christmas dinner on Saturday, which is today. So that is what I will be doing for the rest of the day once I'm finished farting around down here. I've just been itching to really wanted to get that creeper put together and check it out. There you go. I don't see, that's a cool setup there. Can you see? That's a cool setup, but honestly, once this gets sparked up and gooned up, it's going to be more or less useless, but it's on there because it came with the kit. Now, how do you... Okay, that's how you do that. How do you rotate this up? I'll look through directions and figure that out real quick. Because this is cool like this, but I think I would kind of like to have it vertical. Okay, belt tracking's good. Well, it doesn't tell you how to rotate this. Guess we'll have to just figure that out. Looks like you move these. I kind of want this up and down. There we go. Yeah. That's more like it. For what I'm going to be doing with this, I would like it to be up and down and not flat. It'll be more convenient for me to use. Okay. Sweet. I'm going to keep this anyway, even though the instructions are super vague. I would just as soon have this just sitting in the drawer in case I ever need it in the future. And I think this is a good drawer to do that with. Over here. Throw these tools back in the box. Vintage trumpets are not race bikes. If you ride them hard 100% of the time, they will not last long. Absolutely. Look, it's a flat tappet push rod engine. You ride it like a normal human being. Keep good, clean, quality oil in it. You'll get some time out of it. But yeah, when you run them at super high RPM, especially in stock configuration, which obviously never cracked the engine of that machine. It's not my machine. I just helped the guy out with some wiring and stuff. Gave him some pointers on tuning the carburetors. But I do believe it's a stock. I think he had it rebuilt. I will say that. I'm pretty sure it was rebuilt recently too. And he doesn't really ride it much. Plus, it's a hardtail chopper with a big, long Springer front end. That's not something you're going to race around town. That's something you're just going to enjoy. And I think right there would work. You know, in the corner like such. I don't know if I want it completely in the corner or if I want it here. That might work too. But I feel like the corner is going to be best right here. Yeah, because I got a plug and a plug. Let's, for the hell of it, it's not bolted down, but I'm not going to do any grinding. Let's just fire it up one time. And I can tell you right now, we've got to adjust the tracking on the belt, which would be go this way with it. Too much tracking. See what we got now. Nope, it still wants to walk over that way. Take this all the way down. Try it there. Try that. So apparently a teeny little bit of adjustment makes a big difference. There we go. Right where I want it, right in the middle. The tracking up and down when you get you in closer. Oh, yeah. And as you adjust this up and down, that moves this up and down, which will move that left and right. Like I said, this is not a huge heavy-duty unit, but the fact that I don't have one and I now do is pretty awesome, actually. All right. Next thing on the list here let's get to organizing some tools a little bit better, figuring out what we're going to do with that. I'm not sure where I'm going to mount this whiteboard yet. I thought about like right here, honestly, because honestly, it'd be super easy to just do this and call that done, but that's going to be hard to reach. Like if I take these off the wall, which I really don't want to, they're helmet hangers. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put this guy yet, but somewhere that I can get to it. And I may end up moving everything around here, like moving my oil racks and taking this box, moving the bench down, snuggling against the refrigerator, and putting my toolbox, the green box, over there, and then snugging that up to it, something like that, and then moving everything that way. I'm not 100% sure, but I am 100% sure the white man purse. I'm not sure where you're going with that, but yeah, it's a white toolbox, and it's was a free toolbox. Well, I guess not exactly free. I did some work for the guy. It was for something for his kid's bike, and I refused to take payments because I've known him forever. And it was for his son. So here at the Phoenix Motorsports, you know how we roll. It's not about money. It's about helping people enjoy the motorsports life. So since I refused to take money, he when he came to pick up the ATV, he brought me this toolbox, which I greatly appreciate. Wow, what are we going to put and where in this guy, huh? All right, first things first, these bottom drawers here. I have a cupboard on the wall over there where I have my impact socket in there, or impact gun in there. I have an electric impact gun. I think we're going to move that to down here. For sure, that's the first thing I think we're going to do. And still like my hammers and shit to be under there. That's the general. When you reach for a hammer, they're just laying there. But I'm thinking we're going to do power tools and not. Can I even get to them? I move these bikes around and shit. Now I got to move them again. God dang it. All right. Let's see. Let's get the Suzuki up in the middle of the damn garage, because it's got to go back up on the lift. The fella is ready to spend some money on his bike and bring me the parts needed to finish her up. So let's get it out in the middle, because it's going to be going on the lift. If not this afternoon, then sometime tomorrow afternoon. Christmas is done with. Income tax season's upon us. And homeboy's ready to get the bike in gear, which is awesome. Okay. What are we going to do here? We got... I'd like to have my dial calipers closer to me instead of across the room. I don't know where we're going to put them, but gear puller set. This thing is so dusty. I absolutely never use it, but when you need it, I got it. This guy here, believe it or not, I think rips like 900 foot-pound of torque. I want to say 900 foot-pound of torque. I bought it for one thing and one thing only. I almost never need an impact. But when you got to take the engine sprocket, we got some schmutz on the lens here. When you got to take the engine sprocket off of a Harley Davidson, unless you really want to curse and fight and my wrenches in the top two, whatever in the bottom. That's kind of, I got this cabinet on a wall, but for real, it's not a heavy duty cabinet. And I got some heavy shit in it. And yeah, there's that. So let's call this drawer down here the fuck you. Pardon my language. Call this drawer down here the I'm not asking nicely, I'm telling you drawer. We'll put our gear pullers and 3-jaw puller and impact down here. And I'm feeling like kind of, we got a plier drawer we could set up. Because the way I been having this, I got my metrics stationed up here, and then my standard wrenches stationed in this drawer. But this is big enough and wide enough that I can lay them all out the way I'd like to have them. That way I can tell at a glance. So the right half would be metric and the left half. So that may be how I do that. I'm not sure yet on that. And this will fit well with that drawer. Y'all know what that is. Impact driver. This is the I'm not asking nicely or coming apart drawer. So that's a perfect place to put an impact. Let's do that. Let's do this will be standard wrench drawer. This will do metric wrench drawer. And then all my pliers and stuff like that, I think we'll go here with them. I think that's how we're going to work this setup. Should probably back you guys up a little so you can see better what's going on. Yeah, I think that's how we're going to work this setup. Pliers will be down here. Then I'll keep my wrenches here. Prying implement should probably go in the I ain't asking nicely drawer. Best tool ever created. Just ask Derek Beery. And Derek is like, obviously, if you watch YouTube, you know who Vice Grip Garage is. That's kind of one of my inspirations for doing this with the YouTube. I learned so much from watching that guy. And I felt like if I could spread the knowledge I got of motorcycles, that would kind of be awesome. All right. I got my little pick set here. What am I going to do with that? I guess we'll put that in the top box, or the top piece of this for now. Okay. Here's an oddball one. I'm not sure where to put this. Carburetor adjusting screw or screwdriver. Okay, dig it. Yeah, 90-degree bend so you can reach up under. And you turn this back here to adjust pilot screws. It sucks. It's kind of a crappy one, but certain things, certain bikes, as you know, if you've done this, your pilot screw adjustment is way up in there and hard to reach. This is like, makes your life so much easier. And I think it's going to be a top drawer over there. Okay. And I think my dial calipers are going to go over here too. You know what? Kind of feel like maybe I do want to put metric wrenches somewhere different. I want them laid out. Like, I like them to be laid out where I can see. I initially wanted to take like a 2x4 and put it on the wall and put nails in it and hang them. That way at a glance I could grab which one I needed. If I put them in here, they're going to be jumbled up. And honestly, I work on more metric bikes than anything else. And this drawer's big enough. Let's just try it, see how they go. I got multiples of everything too. Because it makes life easier, and if you got to modify a tool, you find a junky one laying around, that's the one you pick up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be in here cursing next week when I'm working on Charlie's bike because I can't find the friggin' wrenches. But I feel like this is going to be easier to do if I stack them like this. Because they're all kind of laying flat now and I can see what's what at a glance. Yeah, I feel like this is the way to go. Yeah, see that? It looks a lot better, and there's a lot more room. 9, 7, 8, 11. Yeah, that's going to be a better way to go. I have no clue. I am missing. I got 11 and 13. I am missing my 12 millimeter ratchet wrench. I don't use these often, but they're nice to have. I think these can go in here maybe. Yeah, that's how we're going to do that. And then this drawer, I think we will use this for Allen keys. Need to maybe put some screws to mount my T Allen set. Torx. Metrics. Miscellaneous. I have so many miscellaneous, like the old shop, the way things were set up, there was no room. I couldn't organize anything. I lost a lot of Allen keys in that old dirt floor, no lighting. You know, the spanner wrench should go in here. The shock wrench, those who don't know. Adjusting preload on shocks on metric bikes. Yeah. Allen keys in there. Miscellaneous files will go here for now. This is a top box line. Belt tension. Okay. Gives you an idea how much pressure to put. It only goes to 10 pounds, but that's the idea behind this guy. It's another thing I almost never use. Harley Davidson belts have their own kind of measurement. You can also use a like a fishing scale on them, but you know what we're gonna do? I think we're gonna do electrical stuff in this top drawer as well. They have room for it. This is the glance down and grab some oddball drawer. So I think we're going to put our electrical stuff up here because this drawer in my bench has seen its better days. Like, it's beat. So something else I need to invest in. I use these super cheap Harbor Freight's digital multimeters. And literally for a while there, before we got the other place with the garage, I had basically my tools and everything were packed up in a storage unit in them tubs. I needed one of these. They're like $7. I just bought another one. It's just what we do. And I'll probably rearrange this shit 3 more times before I'm satisfied. A few different soldering irons. Indispensable. This is like a cheap one, but this is my favorite wire stripper. It just works. How long have we been live? Hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, we'll probably go to 2 hours today, and then that'll be it. You got another soldering iron. This little guy here to clean your soldering tip. I don't really like this particular soldering iron. It works, and it's nice because it has a light. But for real, it's this other El Cheapo one that I got from Amazon heats up so much quicker and seems to do a better job for me. So that's kind of where it's going to live, I think. Will this fit? Yes, it will. Sweet. This has been the latest. You set your soldering iron in it. You wet this sponge to clean your soldering iron tip. Flux cord silver solder, which you should not need. You should not need this stuff, soldering paste. I still use this. It's basically just freaking Vaseline, like a thicker version, but I have found that I get much more better results with my connections. Solder flows better if I use that. And we got this that I almost never use, but when your solder iron's hot, you put it in there and it cleans your tip. And what else do we got that can go in there? Test light. Everybody needs to have one of these. I should invest the money in a power probe, as much motorcycle electric work as I end up doing. Every one of these bikes that I pull in here usually has some Bubba-fied bullshit, meaning some ass pirate has taken it upon themselves to add extra lights and bullshit that their bike doesn't need, and they generally do a rather piss poor job at hooking them up, which means I have to go through and redo everything they did. It just happens a lot. It is what it is. And it's one of the reasons why we're here doing what we're doing. We do a lot of fixing other people's stuff that they quote unquote fixed. Let's see here. I think the other big drawer on the bottom, we're going to go ahead and call that a power tool drawer. A couple drills and a sawzall that'll fit nicely in there. Not too much more of this today because I still got to do some other stuff and I have to dig through those tubs to find each and every tool I'm going to need. Mrs. Phoenix Motorsports got a cabinet for the bathroom that needs mounted on the wall, so I end up needing these. I told her I'd do it today, but honestly, it's probably going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to need my drill bit and drill up in the house anyway. And there ain't quite enough room in the other drawer, but I feel like this would probably fit in there too. This is the, I'm not asking you nicely. this would fit in the I'm not asking nicely drawer, but I'm going to put it in there. We'll call that a power tool drawer. And definitely this guy here. This is another I'm not asking nicely tool. It should go in here. Cut off a grinder. And do we have the... Yeah, we got the wrench for it up here still. What the hell is this? I don't remember this. I have to look at this and see what the hell tool this is. It's been packed up there so long. Oh. This here is indispensable for working on multiple carburetor motorcycles. I don't know if I want to put this in the toolbox or not. I think I kind of like it on the shelf where it's at because it won't get disturbed and bumped. This is not the GOAT of carburetor tools. Definitely not the GOAT, but it's a good one. A good Motion Pro one run to $150. I spent like $89 on this, so I'm going to put this over there. They're somewhat delicate, but not super delicate. And I want it where it's not going to get bumped or jostled around too much. I feel like that oh, the doors actually stay shut in that cabinet now that I've taken some weight out of them. So that makes life a lot easier. What we got? Tap head. Go there. Size wrench is at 27. This is an axle wrench that came in a toolkit with a motorcycle. We'll put it in the metric drawer just right in the center. Center punch probably should go with them. Where did I put the files? I have a dedicated drawer where I stuck my files, so that'll go there. All right, that's probably about it for today. I guess we should throw together the shop vac real quick. Let's do that. After we get another hit of coffee. And I don't know how much putting together I got to do with this thing. I didn't remove it from its packaging because I figured, honestly, that's not going to live in the house. It's going to live down here. Check Hobo Freight for pliers rack. Yeah. But at the same time, if I could build myself some kind of something to hang wrenches, that's what I'm going to do because I like stuff homemade. And we got other toolboxes to go through. I got so much disheveled crap just laying everywhere that we never quite took care of from the actual move. Harley Davidson oil filter wrenches, bike calipers, brake calipers rather, miscellaneous Harley Davidson parts, oil drain pan, C-clamps, Jesus, Lord, Mary, and Joseph, and talking walnut. Organizing the shop and shit is something that seems like it's never done. All right, let's get a look at this guy here and get him somewhat put together. Because it's going to be needed. Can you guys see what I'm doing? All right. Because I brought home a 50-pound bag of rock salt. And the bag that it was in had a tear, so I got rock salt all through my trunk that I need to use this to clean up. Let's go ahead and get him put together because that'll be another project that gets done today. Hopefully there's not too much actual putting together of this unit. Well, shit, there's really not. It looks to me like all we're going to have to do is put the wheel casters on it, which I'm sure they're probably inside of it. Yep. These just snap in. Okay. Sweet. Well, we're probably not gonna. I'm gonna leave this filter on it, because if you gotta suck up fluids or anything wet, this is the guy you want. You don't want this, but most likely this will be used for shit like dry stuff. So we'll set him up like that. We need a Phillips head. Of course, I put that back. All right, let's see. Where do the attachments go? It definitely doesn't go there. Does this guy go here? I see. I can go there. Put this guy here. Maybe. Yeah, that's where that needs to go. That's a little tall. Right on. Cool. All right. We'll just put you here for safekeeping. Let's do this too. Let's get this guy. Mount it up. All right. Shoot up out of the way. Where am I going to put you? Get this jack out of the way. Mount you right. Here's where you stay. You need to go on your attachment so I don't lose you. Okay. And then we'll put this with the other manuals and shit in case I ever need to refer to it. All right. So that's pretty much the end of today's live session. And I got one more yell in here. We got some more boxes to get rid of. But I do believe that's all she wrote. And we got, it's noon. That's usually when I go live. We came in early today. I think we're going to try to be at my mom's house at around around 2 o'clock to celebrate Christmas. So we started a little early. And I do believe I'd like to mount that damn whiteboard somewhere, but I do believe the screws that I would need to do that are up in the house, which is a kick in the ass, isn't it? The hell is that noise outside? Let's take a look. Well, that ain't none of my business because it ain't on my property. All right, man. So we're getting ready for the new year here. We got more setting up to do of the actual shop. But we're about lined out now. Oh, yeah. This is going to work nicely. Beautiful. So now, when I'm working on bikes and shit, instead of sitting on a funky old milk crate, I got this. I sit up a little higher. I can go over here, get a tool. You know what I mean? My back is shot, and an actual table lift that'll lift the bike all the way up in the air where I could stand up and work on it. That's coming. You'll probably see that in a month or two. For now, my little hobo freight lift will hold 1,000-pound motorcycle, and I've done it. Y'all have seen me put a 1,500cc Goldwing on it, and that's about the heaviest goddamn motorcycle around, and it held that just fine. So we're going to continue with that until we get the actual table lift in here, one piece at a time, right? Like the Psychobilly Cadillac that old Johnny Cash built. One piece at a time is how we're setting up this shop. We're not going to dump thousands of dollars into this place. I've done this all my life, the hard way, in backyards, basements, and at one point, literally in the living room of an apartment, I rebuilt a motorcycle. So the fact that I even have this shop to work in is a blessing from God that, man, I feel like sometimes I don't deserve with the life I used to live. So I don't mind doing things the hard way, but little tool set up here today, and the new toolbox, the work stool and creeper combo, the grinder and belt sander combo, and the shop vac is going to make my life a whole lot easier doing what I do. The next big move will be a table lift, and that's something that I'd be about $1,500. In general, in the winter, I don't work overtime. This year has been an exception to that rule. I've worked too much overtime this winter. I don't like it, but it is what it is, which is good. So when springtime hits, it won't be nothing to drop $1,500 on a table lift that I definitely want. Got the money to do it now, but being as it's winter, I don't like to spend big expenditures on things that I don't exactly need, because overtime is usually limited in the winter. So I'll have extra, definitely big time extra to upgrade the shop in the spring. And the way it's looking, I told you guys in a post, look, if you got the money to put your bike together in the spring, bring it to me now, because that means you got the money now. But I pretty much know how this is going to go already. Springtime, we get a couple of nice days, and that project bike that you want fixed, that's when you take it to the mechanic in April, right? I've offered discounts to try to get people in here now. It is what it is. You will pay my full $50 an hour labor rate in the spring, and I would be willing to knock that down to $30 an hour now, but I see how that's going to go. And I'm cool with it. Puts more money in my pocket and more money for the shop. And the way things work is trying to set up a forever gig here. This is my retirement plan. As you can see the gray in my beard, I ain't getting no younger. And 20 years, I'll be at retirement age. And I don't have a huge pension plan, but I got something set up. I plan on supplementing that, doing what I do best, and something that is a lifelong accruing of skills, and that's working on motorcycles. So I got a long time to get this place exactly set up how precisely I want it. And one piece at a time is how we're doing it. The older I get, the worse the arthritis will get, and we'll need things like a table lift and different tools and things to make life easier. But for now, we'll continue to do things the hard way, the way we always done it. And the thing I appreciate the most about that is that's how I started. And honestly, that's how everybody should start when you get into working on motorcycles. You should learn the hard way. Those lessons are much more valuable in the long run, as well as the mistakes that you will make along the way. You'll learn so much more doing things that way. So for me to start this channel out the way I'm doing it, I feel it's important that you learn those life lessons through me. You're going to make your own mistakes. You're going to learn your own way. But teach people that as we go. All right. I have had enough coffee to caffeinate an elephant. So I'm going to sign off here. I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor, that like and subscribe button. Treat it like it owes you money and smash it for me, will ya, huh? Hit that like button too, man. It helps. I'll see you guys later, man.